Now, about the measuring of the so-called prophets, we call them clairvoyants nowadays. A clairvoyant, for instance, is a person something like this. A man has drowned in a lake, and they are dragging the lake and cannot find his body. They do it for several days and hopeless. I mean, they cannot find their body. They know that there's a man here that has this kind of faculties that's pretty accurate on predicting, so-called predicting, or knowing about things without being told. They call him a wise man who gets information that's correct and can be verified without being told. They go and consult this individual. Are we ever going to find their body? The man goes into concentration and he says, 2 days from today at 2:45 p.m. on the south side, there's a big tree there. Right there, this body is going to float on its own. So they don't drag the lake anymore. They go to this specific place at this specific time, and sure enough, the body floats right there. Now, that's what we call a natural clairvoyant, a natural prophet and wise man nowadays. Well, there's so many of them, they're called psychics. But what's a psychic? A psychic is a person who uses his mental faculties. Mental faculties are psychic faculties. The mind is the psyche. They call it the psyche also. So it's nothing strange, nothing occult, nothing mysterious. These people have those faculties, period. And I feel, this is my personal concept, that the prophets of old who took part in being influenced to write the scriptures, the Bible, were these 10%ers, clairvoyants, who were using both brain hemispheres by natural means, you see. We have found, especially through my research, that about 10% of people have these faculties. About 10% of humanity have naturally developed the so-called use of the right brain hemisphere along with the left one. But 90% of humanity have not learned to use the right brain hemisphere. They need to be taught how to do it. Papa and Mama did not know how to teach them, so they did not develop the use of the right brain hemisphere to think with. It's active in the biological system of the body, in the nervous system of the body and so forth. Of course, the right brain hemisphere governs the left side of the body, we know this, but to think with, we're talking about to think with. So 10% of people are the only ones that are using it. So now we have what we call natural clairvoyance. Those who, we don't know how they did it, what happened in their lives, to be able to concentrate in that special manner that they developed the use of the right brain hemisphere. There's no way of knowing. So then we have natural clairvoyance now, and now we have trained clairvoyance. The ones that I believe, it's my personal concept, that Jesus trained his disciples to become prophets and wise men. He was teaching them to become clairvoyants, what we call them now. He was teaching them to use both brain hemispheres, even the right one also. Okay? Now that's what I believe. Now, so we have now the natural and the trained, because we are training people. We have trained millions of people now to use both brain hemispheres and to develop an enhanced intuitive faculty. The intuitive faculty is what they call the prophetic ability. The intuitive faculty is the right brain hemisphere. It's a faculty of the right brain hemisphere. The left brain hemisphere is not intuitive at all. It's illogical. It has to do with mathematics and logic and so on. The right one, there's no logic here. It's the one that has the so-called deductive faculty of mind, they call it. The analytical, critical consciousness are governed by the right brain hemisphere. The one that has to do by controlling all your mental faculties. And the mental faculties are the main faculties of a human being. Now, when we test clairvoyance now, testing the natural clairvoyance and testing our trained clairvoyance, they seem to be just as accurate, meaning natural clairvoyance as well as trained clairvoyance are right sometimes on something by 100%. Sometimes on other things, only 60%. Overall average in times and things, 80%. So the best you can say, a natural clairvoyant as well as a trained clairvoyant is only 80% accurate in what they come up with information-wise. Now, when we say 80% accurate, done by the naturals, as well as trained, you see, we find something here. We need to be able to eliminate the 20% error, you see? So there's 20% error here. Now, in testing these people out, we cannot eliminate or reduce the 20% error factor in the natural ones, because the natural clairvoyants don't know or did not know they were clairvoyant to begin with. They did not know how they became clairvoyant, what really made them clairvoyant. So if they don't know how they became clairvoyant, they cannot teach it to anybody else or control it. Sometimes they don't want to be clairvoyant, they're clairvoyant by natural means. They want to be clairvoyant, sometimes they cannot turn it on. And this is the way it is, it's uncontrolled. Now the trained clairvoyants can control it. So seeing that we do not have common denominators within the natural clairvoyance, we cannot test them to eliminate the 20% error. Now we can test and we can use special testing for the trained clairvoyants because they're trained with a special method that has common denominators. They all have been trained by the same method. They know how they got it because through our training, they know what they had to do in order to get there, in order to accomplish what they did accomplish or are accomplishing. So they know exactly what went through, that they can teach others also. If they teach anybody to do what they did themselves, they would be taught also the same thing. So now we have common denominators, we can get them together and correlate the information that we cannot correlate the information of natural clairvoyance. We can correlate the information of trained clairvoyance and eliminate or reduce the